the longer I'm in business, what I understand more than anything that I didn't know to begin with is my time is stupid valuable. You know, not that I'm special or unique, but because that's what's the most valuable, how I spend my time, not only mentally, but you know. Okay, y'all, good morning, good morning. It's Monday morning. It's real wet. Got a few properties that we're going to try to do. My thing this week is the brush cutter. I got to replace it. I got to get this one fixed. Something's got to give, man, on the brush cutter, because I got to go finish that job. And I got a lot of other work I need to be doing besides running back and forth to the freaking, you know, to the implement dealer. So I'm thinking, so the brush cutter that I was looking at, I told you guys about yesterday. Well, I had a candid talk with the guy that owned it, and at the end of the day, you know, 10K was just too much for me to spend for a used brush cutter. I'll be honest, man. And though it's probably really a good one, you know, $10,000, man, for something that I don't know nothing about that's used, I'm not too tough interested in. It's just too much money, man, for me right now. I do like the fact that it's high flow. There's no sense in having a high flow machine, right, if I don't have any high flow attachments. What's the point, right? So the implement dealer that I usually buy all my implements from down in McDonough, and the ones that fix my brush cutter, right? Well, they got one in stock now that it's the XC8 or some shit like that. It's got the grinder teeth on it, but they don't offer it in, they don't have one in high flow. And you know, my machine being, I want to say around 19.5 or something GPM on the standard flow. Well, I'd like to get a high flow brush cutter if I could. That's really what I want, and I think I can get one. So to make a long story short, ain't none of my stories short. The actual headquarters, or one of the headquarters of MTL Implements, they're right here in Georgia, and about an hour and 10 minutes away, something like that. And I'm waiting on them to open. They open at 9. I'm going to call them early this morning and see if they got a high flow brush cutter there, X8, in, you know, whatever the, yeah, it's a beast, man. I mean, you know, I guess if I have to get a standard flow, and I will, but I really don't want to, man. And I'm not really gonna, I mean, I'm not saying I won't, but you know, if I can get a high flow and it still be under 10K, then that's what I want to do. Now, of course, the dealer down there in McDonough, he's been messaging me because I asked him if he had one of those big ones in stock. He says, yeah, with the stump grinding teeth on it. He says, yeah. He said, it's a standard flow. I said, you have a high flow unit? He comes back and he says, and I'll show y'all the text. And see, I mean, I just don't believe him. I mean, at the end of the day, I do not believe him. Now, somebody, one of you guys might know a lot more about it than me. So he comes back and he says something like, I said, do y'all have a high flow unit? He said, no, but a high flow unit would cost you $1,500 more and about 3 or 4 weeks of wait time. I might check. See that they use that kind of thing, and it might be they use. So like I was saying, y'all, you know, the brush cutter deal is something I got to deal with, and I'm calling the manufacturer up in, well, it's about an hour and a half away from here, and they're not answering the phone. Their voicemail's coming on and saying, hey, we're open from 9 to 6 and blah blah blah. And well, it's 9:45 right now. I really don't know what to do, man. I'm tempted just to go on down to McDonough and take them my brush cutter, but we got to go do these yards first. So we're gonna go on. I've already invoiced for these yards, so that's what we're gonna go do. I was contemplating rather taking one mower or two, but I'm gonna take 2 mowers, because if I take one mower, then, and they actually have one in stock up there, then I can go over there and pick it up, and I'll have room on the trailer without having to come back home. You gotta be thinking like that to save, for optimal time saving, you know, and fuel saving and all that. So, yeah, that's where we're at, man. But me and Bo gonna have to go on over here and do these yards, because I can't be waiting. Maybe they'll call me while I'm, yeah, maybe they'll call me while I am riding. My thinking is I want to get a high flow one, but the availability, I mean, hell, if I'm not gonna get a high flow amount, I might as well just get the one I got fixed. Shit, you know. So my thinking is like, okay, we need to go do these yards. It's wet as hell. Everything's wet, and we need to go earn some money and get these yards out of the way, so when everything is said and done, I'll be able to have time and not have to go do, you know, $60 lawns. And it's gonna be everywhere we go is gonna be soaking wet today. So, Bo, what's up, buddy?
Nothing.
What'd you get there?
Biscuit and gravy.
Damn,
that's all you can damn afford in there.
Huh?
That's all you can afford in so much.
Oh yeah?
You get a lot of gravy, but they want $5 a damn biscuit, man.
No.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. Is that trash?
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, y'all, that's where we're at, man. So I'm gonna go on and do what I don't really want to do, which is get out here not knowing a lot of shit that I need to know. But I can't believe they're not open yet. You know, they said 9 o'clock. The website says they're open, but yeah. I ordered one of the cutters, a 66 inch. I started to do the 72, but the 72 weighs a lot because, well, I'm getting the piston motor, $9 grand, brand new though, with a warranty, man, and the cutter teeth and everything. So that's kind of, you know, where I need to be. I didn't want to spend that much, but I need something that's gonna, where I don't have to worry about stuff. And I'll sell mine for, you know, a couple grand. I'm gonna take mine back down there and let them, and they're gonna fix it. You know, I'm not even gonna fool with fixing it, man, because I done paid them to do it. If I knew exactly how to fix it, I would do that and save myself them 2 hours of drive time, but I don't. So it's a big pain in the butt though, for sure, you know, to go down there and drop it off, and then, you know, have to come back. I mean, but this new one is everything that, yeah, it's an extreme 4-blade XC8, 66 inch. You know, I don't really, you know, I don't know, man. I started to do the 72, but he was telling me the 72 is real heavy, and you know, and if I'm going to be doing pond banks and stuff like that, it'd be better to have the 66. So that's what I'm gonna get. I already gave him the deposit, so he said it might be ready tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, for sure on Wednesday. So we just gonna kind of just keep working today, man. We need to do a bunch of yards today. Well, we need to generate a bunch of money. Well, not a bunch, but you know, we need to hit $500 or $600 anyway. So pretty easy to do. All right, y'all, 2 o'clock, man. We did about $500. You know, not a lot, but enough to keep things going. You know, just trying to and know this, that we're on the last cuts, cleanups, whatever you want to call them. So I'm trying to make sure that we get all the yards done, wrapped up for the season, the ones that have leaves. Most of my yards don't have leaves, but there are a few. So yeah, so I'm just trying to, you know, wrap up the lawns, like I said, man. So I ordered another brush cutter, and well, I didn't want to. I'm pretty uncomfortable about doing it. Well, I don't want to say uncomfortable. I don't want to do it, but I know that I'm going to have to, because I got work with the brush cutter now. But I know that I like brush cutting, and I know that I need a good brush cutter for this new machine. The one I got is 4 years old, and it's really not, I don't know, it's not beefy enough for what I want to do. So I'm gonna, you know, put it back together. I'm gonna take it down there and let them put it back together, and I'm gonna sell it. They know that it's messed up, so it's really more about me having time to take it down there and taking the time to do that. I don't want it on a pretty day. I don't want to take it down there, you know, because it's what's a 2.5 to 3 hour event down there and back, and then I got to go pick it up down there and back. So it's gonna have to be, you know, well, on a day when I can't do nothing else. You know, I'm gonna definitely get it fixed. Gonna definitely sell it. I don't know what I'll get out of it. I don't know what they're worth, but I don't see why I couldn't get a couple of grand. You know, I don't know that for sure, but it'll be a good deal for somebody, because see, I don't like to try to sell things for top dollar and sit there and hold on to it, and you know, when somebody's offering me, you know, if somebody's offering me, you know, reasonable number, then I'll sell it, man, just to get out from under it and get out and move on. You know, a lot of people will try to, you know, like, I know I could have sold my skid steer for more money than I did, right? I know I could have, but I knew that if I did that, I was going to be, if I was asking, you know, 20,000, I knew that I was going to be having a lot of tire kickers coming around, wasting my time, and more than likely, and they'll be trying to get it for cheaper and all that. So I set that number at such a friendly number that it's a no-brainer, right? And you can do that when you're making money with stuff. The biggest thing is getting my money back out of it, you know, and moving on to something else, reinvesting the money, you know. I think a brand new one of these right here that I got, I think it's like $5 grand, 5,200 or something like that. So I mean, I could probably sit on it and sit on it and sit on it and try to get 3,000 out of it, but I'd probably be sitting on it for longer than I want to. I'd rather just take two and then take that $2 grand and invest it somewhere else, and I'll make that 1,000 up over time, right? Instead of me having to deal with people, you know, calling me, wanting to come look at it, kick the tires, you know, and try to negotiate with me and all that. You have 2 or 3 people come and look at it, and they don't buy it at the price that you're asking for it, then I done lost more than the 1,000 or so that I'm trying to get out of it. That's my thinking. The longer I'm in business, what I understand more than anything that I didn't know to begin with is my time is stupid valuable, you know. Not that I'm special or unique, but because that's what's the most valuable, how I spend my time, not only mentally, but, you know, I'd rather, like I said, I don't want to spend my time waiting on somebody to show up to give me $3 grand for my brush cutter, when I know if I put it for $2 grand, the first person that pulls up is going to buy it. That's what I want, you know. Instead of, oh, well, yeah, I'll give you blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, because if I ask $3 grand for it, they can buy a brand new one for probably 4, or I mean, not a brand new one, but they could probably buy one that's a step up for 4. You know, yeah. Sell it for 2, take that money, reapply it to something else, and then make your money back that way. Now the new brush cutter, it's going to have the piston motor, so it's going to be a lot more powerful and a lot more valuable. And it's going to be something that's going to last a while. I'll be able to make a lot more money with it than I paid for it. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear about what stuff costs, but I'm going to tell you what it costs, and I'm going to be straightforward with you. So I could get it for $7,900, right? $7,990 with the regular, you know, drive motor. The piston motor is another $1,000. So, and that's what I want, because I like to buy, well, I like nice shit, man. You know, I like good, top quality equipment, right? So it's going to be $89.90, right? Plus tax. But I got an out on the tax. And I don't even know, well, I'm not going to have to pay tax on it. So, put it that way, as long as I pay cash. So, I'll be going and I'll be getting the money out the bank whenever they call me. And I'll take $89. He told me that if I brought him cash, and this is the dealer, told me if I brought him cash, it'd be $8,900 cash. So, that's what I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna, then at that point, I will have done everything that I can do to make money with a brush cutter. I can't do any more than that, right? And as long as I know that I'm doing everything I can do to put myself in the best scenario to win in the long game, that's what I want to do. I'm not going to keep fooling with a brush cutter that comes loose and stuff. I'm not going to keep doing that, because that really screwed me up. I was supposed to be able to get that $1,500 over there the other day. You know, instead, I'm having to put it off until I get another brush cutter, which is, you know, getting one in a reasonable amount of time, 3 or 4 days, is a pretty good deal. But I'm actually going to the manufacturer to buy it. I'm not going to the dealer down there where, you know, I've been buying stuff, because I want to get it straight from the horse's mouth. The dealer down there told me that it would be 4 to 6 weeks before they could get one. Go to the manufacturer, and lucky the manufacturer is an hour away. Go to the manufacturer, then I can get one, well, Wednesday at the latest. And everything exactly what I want. When you're dealing with distributors / dealers or whatever, and they're not the ones that actually put the things together, they're just, well, they're a distributor, they're a middleman. They're making, you know, they probably get a deal on the attachments for, you know, if it's an $8,000 attachment, they probably pay $6,000, you know, and something like that, and then they turn around and sell it for $85,000, make $2,500, you know. I ain't against nobody making that kind of money. This same brush cutter that I'm buying from the manufacturer, it will probably be $10,500 at my dealer down there. So sometimes you just got to cut off the middleman, and I don't mind doing it. And I didn't cut off the middleman for any other reason but the fact that they didn't have none in stock. And then they're going to tell me that the ones they have in stock at, you know, with my SVL 75.3, they said that it'll run just as good on, you know, 20 GPM as it would on the high flow 29 GPM. And see, I don't believe that. If it were even close, they would not have a high flow machine. Right? And of course the one that they have is not the piston motor. And you know, so I'm stoked. And another good thing I like too is, considering I'm on pond banks, and that's one of the things I'm going to be doing, and I don't do a whole lot of field mowing with brush cutter. I don't. I put a lawnmower on it most of the time if I'm doing fields. Of course, sometimes you can't, but I'll have to just... The one I'm getting is a 66 inch. So the machine, the weight of these things are stupid heavy. And if you're on a pond bank and you got that cutter out in front of you, man, it you know, my machine was doing that with a freaking with stump bucket on it. Well, Ray, you can buy weights for it and everything. Yeah, but you can also buy a lighter, meaning not as wide, you know, brush cutter, and it'll run it a lot better. Because let's face it, 29.8 GPMs is not 40 GPMs. Okay, so anything that I can do to lessen the drag on the hydraulics and it run better, more efficient, and more powerful, that's what I want to do. If I have an 84 inch brush cutter, the same exact one that I'm getting, but 84 inches wide, then I guarantee you it's probably not going to have as much torque as a 60 inch one. I don't know. I know for sure that when I'm reaching with it, I won't, you know, tip. So that's the biggest thing to me. The less drag, the more power. It's sort of like with the 201T saws that I have. I know that 201T will run a 16 inch bar. I know it will. I've had one on it, you know, my little steel saw. But I prefer a 12 inch bar. Well, why is that? Because there's no drag and it's a lot more powerful. And that's what I like. I like things that are effective and very powerful, as powerful as I can make it, right? And that's what I'm doing with the brush cutter. So I'm stoked, man. And I'll put a picture of what it is, what it's going to look like, and everything up on the video. And I wonder where all the haters are now, the ones that said I was broke and couldn't afford a skid steer. Not only could I afford a skid steer, I got one, but also I'm fixing to pay cash for a brush cutter. Right? So much for the theory that I'm broke, or so much for the theory that I'm overextended. Right? If I was overextended, I wouldn't be buying a $10,000 brush cutter, or excuse me, a $9,000 brush cutter. I wouldn't. So that's for the haters that think that, you know, they look at how I do things and they say there ain't no way he could have money saved up. There ain't no way that he could be doing this and that he could be doing that. And not only have I been telling you guys that I do and I can and I will, but I've also am showing you that if you're smart with your money on the other end of being self-employed, and you make calculated moves and take calculated gambles, that you can win. You can win a lot. So, and right now, it could change tomorrow. I'm winning, y'all. I said winning. So for all the haters that just would kill for Ray to flop. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I'm gonna make smart moves. I'm gonna do what the next logical thing is, as far as I'm concerned, as far as what my business needs, which is something that a lot of people don't know, that think they know. They want to put me in a box. So, and that's how I go. But y'all will be seeing a new brush cutter here in the next couple of days, and I'm gonna get back over there and get my $1,500 out of that job that I started on. I'm gonna get over there and wrap that thing up, and I'm gonna wrap it up a lot quicker than the other one would have gone to. Deuces.